Bailey House, Case Study House 21. Los Angeles is home to some of the world's most famous examples of mid-century modern residential architecture. Some of this is thanks to the Case Study House program, which challenged architects to experiment, pushing them to think about housing in a new light. Pierre Koenig's iconic stall house, Case Study House 22, is probably the most legendary, but it came after his first project for the Case Study program, the Bailey House, in 1959.
Hi, my name is Mark Hadawi. I work primarily in historic architecture. So the Case Study program was set forth by John Intenza, who was the publisher of Arts and Architecture. The idea was generally low-cost solutions to housing. So architects like Pierre Koenig, Richard Neutra, Craig Elwood found their way to the Case Study program, designed interesting concept for houses that were generally cost conscious and promoted a modern way of living.
Built mainly of steel and glass, Koenig's simple design is elegant and restrained. But Case Study houses can be vulnerable to the elements and the ever-present threat of development. It takes preservation-minded stewards to safeguard them. In the 1990s, Koenig himself reversed some inappropriate changes to the house's interior. In 2023, a structural retrofit was undertaken to fully stabilize the foundation, and a comprehensive rehabilitation of the house was completed.
The house is on a cut and filled lot. Because it was a very inexpensive house, the foundations were very small and the house was subsiding on the hillside. Structural solution in restoring the house was a series of 50 helical anchors that had to be drilled into the hillside with a concrete grade beam grid under the poured slab. It was always a house I loved and knew from books. I mean, we were really fortunate to have the client that we did, in that she felt committed to restoring the house to what it was when it was built in 1957.
As part of the project, historic documentation like Julius Schulman photographs and Koenig's own drawings were referenced to maintain the architect's original vision while making improvements for modern living.
Well, I think that what we accomplished was to not only aesthetically bring the house back to what it was when it was originally conceived, but to stabilize the house for the distant future.
The successful rehabilitation and structural retrofit of the Bailey House has given this beautiful and rare example of mid-century modern architecture a new footing and foundation for the future.